Lord Vishnu said to Mother Lakshmi Devi, "Now I shall tell you the glories of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who listens to this description will be liberated from the material world." Nestled along the banks of the Godavari river lies the charming town of Pratishtanapura, also known as Paithan, where I am famous by the name Pipalesh. In that town, there was a king named Janashruti, whom the people loved very much and whose qualities were unlimited. He performed daily fire sacrifices, which were so opulent and large that the smoke from them reached the heavenly pleasure garden known as Nandavana, darkening the leaves of the Kalpavriksha trees. Those trees appeared as if they were offering their respects to King Janashruti. Due to the pious activities of that great king, demigods always resided in Pratishtanapura. When King Janashruti would give charity, he would distribute just as the clouds distribute the rain. Due to Janashruti's pure religious activities, rain consistently arrived at the perfect time, ensuring that the fields thrived with crops, untouched by 6 types of rodents. He promptly dug wells and lakes for the welfare of the citizens. The demigods, being very pleased with Janashruti, visited his palace in the form of swans to bestow their blessings upon him. They soared through the sky in a line, conversing amongst themselves. Bhadrashva, along with 2 to 3 other swans, flew ahead of the rest. At that time, the other swans addressed Bhadrashva, "Oh brother, why are you flying ahead? Don't you see in front of you the great king Janashruti, who is so powerful that he can burn up his enemies by his desire?" When Bhadrashva heard the words of the other swans, he started to laugh and said, "Oh brothers, is King Janashruti as powerful as the great sage Raikva?" When the king heard the words of the swans, he at once came down from the roof of his high palace and happily sat on his throne. He called his chariot driver and instructed him to go and find the great sage Raikva. When the chariot driver of the name Maha heard the king's instructions, he became very happy and left immediately to search out Raikva. First, he travelled to Kashipuri, where Lord Vishwanatha resides, for the welfare of all beings. Next, he went to Gaya, where the lotus-eyed Lord Sri Gadadhara, who is capable of freeing all beings from the bondage of birth and death, stays. After having travelled to many holy places, he came to Mathura, which is capable of destroying all sins. In this sacred place, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, resides. All the great sages, demigods, the Vedas, and various Shastras in their divine forms perform austerities and render service to Lord Shri Krishna. Mathura, which is in the shape of a half moon, is situated on the bank of the beautiful devotion-bestowing river Yamuna. In this region stands the magnificent Govardhana hill, enhancing the beauty and glory of Mathura Mandala like a precious gem in a crown. It is surrounded by pure trees and creepers. There are 12 wonderful forests surrounding Mathura, in which Lord Krishna enjoys his enchanting pastimes. After leaving Mathura, Maha travelled to the west and then to the north. One day, he came to a town known as Kashmir, where he spotted an enormous and radiant white structure. At that place, even the most foolish individuals appear as beautiful demigods, thanks to the numerous sacrificial fires that burned continuously. It looked as if a row of clouds always hung over the town. The deity of Lord Shiva, known as Manikeshwara, resided in that town. The king of Kashmir had recently returned from conquering several kings and was engaged in worshipping Lord Shiva. Due to his great devotion to Lord Shiva, that king was known as Manikeshwar. Just near the temple door, under a tree and resting on a small cart, Maha saw the great sage Raikva. When he recognized Raikva from the description of Janashruti, he immediately fell at his feet and asked, "O great sage, where do you live and what is your complete name? You are such a highly elevated person. Why are you sitting in this place?" When Raikva heard the words of Maha, he thought for some time and then replied, "I am fully satisfied. I do not require anything." When Maha heard this reply, in his heart he could understand everything. Without delay, he embarked on the long journey back to Pratishtanapura. When he reached his destination, he at once went and offered his respects to the king, and with folded hands, he recounted all the events that had occurred. After the king had heard everything from Maha, the king resolved to set off immediately to seek the blessings of the great sage Raikva. Sitting in a beautiful chariot and taking with him many valuable gifts, he left for Kashmir. When he reached the place where the sage Raikva was staying, he fell at his feet and presented the valuable silks and jewels he had brought along. At that time, the great sage Raikva became very angry and said, "O foolish king, take these useless items, load them into your chariot and leave this place." Filled with devotion, the king at once fell at Raikva's feet and pleaded for forgiveness, asking for the sage's mercy. He then asked Raikva, "O sage, how have you achieved such a remarkable level of renunciation and devotion to the Lord?" Satisfied with the king's submissive attitude, Raikva said, "I recite the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita every day. Following this, King Janashruti listened to Raikva recite the 6th chapter and subsequently began his own daily recitation. In course of time, a flower airplane arrived and took him to Vaikunta. Meanwhile, that great sage who was reciting the 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita daily went to Vaikunta, where he engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Anyone who recites this 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita will very soon attain service to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Of this, there is no doubt.